Welcome back to episode 5 on the channel. This is the Exchange Trader, and today we're looking at the 355 at York. And it's a big sprint race over 5 furlongs, and there's plenty in with a chance, and so most of the runners are trading at decent odds, and we are going to concentrate on the big outsiders as we have done in the last few episodes. And in particular we are looking at Majestic Hero, number 6, drawn 13, and number 3, Blythe Spirit. Now you can see that we already have a little bit of money taken on Blythe Spirit. We put £5 in because we're upping the stakes to £5 for this episode, and it was partially taken before it came back down, so we traded off at 94 for the same amount, and there has been a non-runner since that, so that's why the prices are a little bit different than what they were taken. So Majestic Hero is bubbling under at 95, and Blythe Spirit is at 75, and Kibar is another one that we might have a look at, but I'm just a bit unhappy with this 80 that's stuck in at 110, because I think if you take that out the price would go up, and I don't understand really why people put that money in there. If they just kept that money out and let the price drift up, then they would get far more out of this selection. It could go to 120, 30, 40, but as long as that 80 is there, it's going to force the price down. So we are a good while off the race yet. We're an hour and 5 minutes away. So I'm just going to watch the market, and if anything significant happens then we'll put the video back on, but I'm just going to pause it for now. We've moved the bank up to 200 to compensate for the £5 stakes, and remember in the first few videos we said start with a bank of £80, and I think that's still reasonable for absolute beginners. So if you are in that category, then keep to the 80 bank, keep to the £2 stakes, and don't move it up to £5 bets until you are pretty confident that you can make a profit on races. So this is a £200 bank, and we've got £5 stakes, and we've got 8 of those stakes making a total or maximum liability of £40. And we're going to try and win 10% of the bank. So in this case it would be £20. We're looking to win £20 on the race, or as near as possible to that figure as we can. Remember in the other episodes we were trying to win just £8 from the £80 bank. Now, all 3 of these horses, Kibar, Majestic Hero and Blythe Spirit, have a best price odds with the bookmaker this afternoon of between 40 and 50. So on Betfair I would imagine or hope that the price would trade higher than 100. So I'm looking to get in these horses at maybe 120. So certainly Majestic Hero could go to that. There is a little bit of substance on the right for Blythe Spirit to get back to 120, and as I said earlier, this 77 is just blocking the way to get to the 120 on Kibar, but that could easily just be taken out of the market and this price could rise. So that's what we're aiming for, and then we can make the trades when the prices get that far up on the scale. Now I have made a small bet, and it's only a £2.50 one. Now the reason I've not put £5 on is because the price that I want is 120. So if I take a price lower than that, I'm going to reduce the stake. If I get 120, then I'll put the £5 stake on. If I get 110, then it's only going to be another £2.50. So I'm going to put that in as well, and then the £5 bets will come in at 120, 30, 40, 50 and so on. So we just put a little bit of money in just in case there is a bit of money for Majestic Hero and it gets backed in, and then we can lay it off and make a potential profit of possibly £100, and then we can lay that in running to see if we can win 20. And if I put the £2.50 in at 60, then you can see we've got a potential profit of £95 going into the race, and then like I said before, we can try and lay that in running round about the 5 mark. So if nothing else happens, if the market does decide that it's going to come down, then we've got that figure backed away at 60. So we're about 15 minutes away from the race now, and probably Majestic Hero is the only one we're going to be able to trade on. You can see the price on Blythe Spirit has collapsed to 50.55, which makes the 100, 110 and even 120 that went before a standout value bet, and possibly in hindsight maybe taking the 110 we could have waited till it came down before laying off. But we still got a few bits and bobs on the number 3 horse, and we'll have a look at Majestic Hero and see if we can eke some kind of profit out of this one. So the bet at 110 has been taken, and I'm going to put that in again a bit lower down, and we're going to switch to the £5 bets at 120. If the £5 gets taken, then I am going to start scalping with that, but I'm going to leave these two in as per episode 2 and 3, where we put them in hoping the price would come right down and take them. If it doesn't, like we did last time, we'll move these back up and just try and get out of the market within the last 5 minutes. So we're 12 minutes to post. Quite a big difference between the bet and the lay stakes that we have in the market, so we might be just trading in this region for a while without any real action. I'm waiting to see which side of the market the large money will come in first. So if it's on the bet side, we might be looking at £50 plus. On the lay side, again similar amounts, £50 plus, just to give an indication of which way the market might proceed. And again, I emphasise the word might, because we don't really know which way it's going to go. The market is unpredictable when we get down to the last 15-10 minutes. There is a little bit of money coming now on the right hand side there, 22.20, but it's not enough to convince me that the market is going to push down that quickly. So we're still getting variable opinion as to which way the price wants to go. The market pushes down and then the lay side pushes back up straight away. So we're getting this barrier in and around the 85, 90, 95 mark. We don't have any big money coming in as yet, so we're still waiting for the first indications from the actual stakes. You can see one of the bets has been taken at 65, so we are hopeful now that the market will push down and take the other one at 60. We're about 4 minutes away from post. So if that does get taken, then we're going to leave it at that for this race.
Fully matched.
And it did get taken, so we're within the last 5 minutes now, and we're going to cash out. And you can see we've made a profit. We can make a profit now of £3.11, and we can add that to the 55 pence. So if we want to cash out, we can do. And it is 2% of the bank. So I think that's a reasonable position to be in this early on. So I'm going to
Fully
cash out
matched.
£3.36, and I'm going to leave that bet in for Blythe Spirit. We've got a profit of £3.46 on the market. Whatever happens, we've got Blythe Spirit running for us. We could cash that out, but I don't see the point in that. We can put that as a lay bet in this market. So I'm going to put that in at, if we want to win £10, we'll need to make it £6.54. I know we originally said we want to win 20, but we'll keep it at 6, something like that. So we'll put the bet in at £6.70. That takes us up to £9.78. That's fair enough. So I want to put it in a little bit lower down. Then if the horse gets through that barrier, then we'll win the same amount on Blythe Spirit. So I'm going to put it in there at 4.7. And you can see if Blythe Spirit does get to that mark, then we will win £9.78, and that's after commission. So I'll put that in, and we'll right click and play keep. That puts the K in next to the unmatched bet. So we've done the trading. We didn't quite get to trade with the £5 stakes, but we've again made a small profit on a small bank, and we've got a chance with Blythe Spirit, if that comes down to 4.7, of making 5% on the bank in one race. So we're about, well, we should be looking for the race now to come through. We're about 2 or 3 minutes left, so I'll just put a cut in the video until the race starts, and then we'll see where we go from there. So just a minute or so away from the race, and you can see the action plan taking shape, with Blythe Spirits going from a low of 20. I would probably ignore that, that's out of line. Probably a low of 40 where reasonable money came in, and went up to 120. We didn't think the horse could go any higher than that, so we got in round about that figure. We actually got in at 110, and if we switch across to Majestic Hero again, the price has gone from about 38.40 up to 120, and we made the bet at 100 and 110. So we were near the top, and Majestic's Hero price really shouldn't have been that high. So we were looking at the market always possibly going to come in from that position. It wasn't going to go too much higher. So we're playing from a position of possibly the odds not going much higher, and we were right, and the market has now come into 40. So once again, we'd laid off too early with both horses, but there's no point being greedy. We don't know when the market is going to turn and go back up. We've got a profit on the race, we've got a horse running for us in running, so we're quite happy with the one race. Again, if you trade on 2 or 3 races, then your profit is going to be a little bit higher. There is no risk involved in making these bets. So we're only a minute or so from race time, and you can see the price on Majestic Hero has gone right back up. So getting out 5 minutes before the race is usually a good policy, because we really don't know which way the market is going to go with these horses. And if you'd had started trading at 60 and followed it up, you would now be struggling to get rid of the money that you'd put on. So a 5-minute barrier is always a pretty good indication of when to get out. So we're not too far away.
Sucker.
The race is off. So we can watch Blythe Spirit, knowing that we're going to win a small amount on the race. We can watch if Blythe Spirit gets down to 4.7. We're not interested in Majestic Hero. It's a bit tough if it wins, because we have traded it, but it's going back out to 180, 190. So Blythe Spirit possibly at the halfway stage now. Blythe Spirit round about 42, going out 100, 140. Looks like it's struggling in the race and going right out now. And that's gone out to 1,000, so we're not going to get anywhere near the trade point. And Majestic Hero is also well beaten. Interestingly, the other horse we were interested in, Kibar, has run a cracking race. It's got down to below even money in running, which is what we were maybe expecting from Blythe Spirit. But that's the race over, and even though Blythe Spirit and Majestic Hero never really looked likely to win the race, we have made a small profit on it. So like I said before, if we do 3 races, we're going to win about £10 from a bank of £200, and that is not a bad return for horses that lose in the race, and you can still make a profit even though they look like they got nowhere near the front. Like I say, Kibar came right down, ran a really good race, and we'll maybe watch out for these two in the future. So that's the video finished, and that was episode 5 of the series. So if you're interested in following the series, then do leave a comment, or if you want to ask a question, leave a comment. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, it is free, and that means you keep right up to date with the videos. So thanks very much for watching, everyone, and hopefully I will see you shortly.